Welcome to another episode of Holy Homo Healing Hour. Today we have with us Adam, who is a caregiver from North Carolina and has a cat named Moo, which is an adorable name, by the way. He is a proud uncle to 8 nibblings. That is so many nibblings. He grew up independent Baptist and is now an agnostic spiritualist living his best life. So,
Yeah.
Welcome.
welcome,
Thank you.
Adam.
Thank you. It's so
Yeah.
nice to be here.
Yeah.
Well, let's get started with talking about your religious background and growing up independent Baptist, which I also grew up independent Baptist. So I'm
Yeah.
sure we're gonna vibe on that. Trauma dump away.
I mean, I guess in the moment, I didn't know any better, so it was just what we did. That was life, That was
Yeah.
family. It was community. It was just what we did. I don't know. In the moment, it didn't feel like trauma. I guess sometimes it did. When I think back, like specific moments, sure, certain things hurt, but until a certain age, you're still learning what life is. So that was
Yeah.
just what we were taught.
That's your normal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you were raised in it. It was a family thing. I'm guessing you started really young. So did I.
How
yeah.
often were you all at the church?
At least twice a week, all day Sunday and Wednesday night. But then, special things were going on. We'd be there. Birthday parties, weddings, every community event happened at the church. That's just where we were. That was our third space. Me and my sisters had school, mom and dad had work, and then the third space was church, right? Because everybody has a third space, and that was ours. I look back on my early childhood in church with pretty fond memories, but getting into it, it feels like that was probably just a bunch of manipulation. Because I'm still in like deconstruction space. I haven't been to church in a long time, but I was really in it. I grew up in the Independent Baptist Church, and then we moved on to a Southern Baptist church in my teenage years because in the church we grew up in, there was like a pastoral change and a big drama thing that happens a lot with like the church splits. So
Mhm.
we stayed on for a long time, but then my dad, he was in the military and he got deployed, and my mom didn't feel comfortable continuing to take us there because of some things that had happened. And what they didn't know that at the time, the past like 5 years that we had been there on up until the last 2 years while my dad was overseas, I was getting molested by the pastor's son. Yeah.
Oh,
So uh, from around 12 until I was 15, um, church stopped being a safe place for me, you know?
Wow.
Um, It was it started out, we were in the basement and all the kids were down there hanging out, and somebody turned the lights off and somebody just took advantage. And that continued for about 5 years. And we finally moved because of the church drama that was going on.
was the church drama related to that, or was that something
No, I
else?
think the pastor was somebody's wife or something. Something like that. I was still pretty young, so I wasn't in on what was going on. I heard a little
Right,
bit
right.
of this and a little bit of that when I was eavesdropping on grown-up conversations, but my parents didn't know about this until I turned 18, and we were well into another church membership at this point. After that move, church started to feel a little safer. It was different. We moved from an independent Baptist to a Southern Baptist, so there's a little bit of change in doctrine, I guess. But I don't think it's still no more pleasant than the last, hellfire and damnation kind of stuff. My independent Baptist church was really small. I think the most
Mm,
we could fit in that building was 150 people. And
yeah.
the Southern Baptist, it was at least double that. It was a big difference in church culture. I think the independent Baptist, the one thing I loved about it was, and I still appreciate, was that it taught me how to do community really well.
Mhm.
Because even once we moved to the bigger one, it was still community. It was just bigger and more spread out. But it taught me how to take care of the people that I care about. Because anytime somebody in that church family needed something, everybody pitched in and took care of it. That's one thing that I'm still grateful for.
So you were, what, 15, 16 when you guys started going to the Southern Baptist Church?
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
that's about the time I really started to struggle with my sexuality. Somebody had said something to my mom about me messing around with a boy out in the woods one time. I thought, oh my God, this was like the worst moment of my entire life. Getting outed
Mhm.
is not fun. Not being able to tell your own truth to the people that
Yeah.
you want to tell it to when you want to tell it to them. It's the worst thing. So when my mom approached me about it, because she's a Southern mom, she's not going to not ask me. That was a really traumatizing moment for me. And I remember feeling such shame about my existence, and I
Mhm.
couldn't put that into words. I just knew I was so ashamed of myself, and I didn't know how I was ever going to atone for being the way that I was. This is something that has really haunted me forever. Like, I'm still dealing with in therapy. You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
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 I was really starting to struggle with my sexuality, and we stayed at that church for a long time. I didn't leave it until I was probably 21, 22. The church, eventually, I, you know, aged out of all the teenage stuff, and I went off and got me a little job. I met a boy at work, my first little boyfriend, and then my sister got a job at the same place I got a job, and
Mm.
word got around, and my sister goes back and tells my parents. My
Oh
parents call
no.
me. Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah. So
terrible.
again, I got outed and didn't get to like actually come out. But as soon as this was over and they got me back home, they found Exodus International through a ministry out of South Carolina called Truth Ministries. It's this ex-gay conversion therapy type stuff.
Wow.
And there was a national conference the following weekend in Asheville, which is only about an hour from where I live. The church bought me a ticket and got my dad a ticket, and they took me to this conference. At the time, I'm still buying into this is wrong. Like,
Mm.
I'm wrong, you know? So I agreed to go. We get up there and go to all these different workshops and classes and um, these big keynotes at the end of the night, which are just one big encouraging sermon telling you that change is possible and that you don't have to be this way. You can marry someone of the opposite sex and be attracted to them and lead a full and happy life. And, you know, you can make these feelings go away. There are things you can do. And I'm like, all right, cool. Because I'm all about a process. Give me the steps and I can do that, right? But it's not
Yeah.
about the steps. It's like therapy. They think they're healing you from this trauma that you've inflicted upon yourself because you're not
Mhm.
born that way. So you were
Right.
either touched by somebody or you have been around women too much.
I remember that being a
That's
thing that people would say. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
yeah.
Yep.
The that I heard in some of those workshops, looking back, and I bought into it, man. I bought into it. I worked in one of the offices up in Fletcher, North Carolina for one of these ministries. The group
Yeah.
therapy sessions, the one-on-ones with people that weren't licensed.
Yeah.
And it amazes me now how far I let it go. But I was just sold on it because Jesus.
Well, and everything around you too. I mean, that was family and church and community, and at the cost of everything that you value, they're like, "Oh, well, you can get rid of this part of yourself and keep everything,
Yeah.
or there's something wrong with you." So, yeah,
Yeah.
It's messed up, but yeah.
How long were you a part of all of that?
So at one point, I moved to Florida and lived with a friend at the time that ran an in-home ministry. We called it the
Mhm.
Homo Halfway House as a joke, but that's kind of
Nice.
what it was. It's supposed to provide safe community where you could learn to be among men without bumping purses. um, but I moved down there in 2017 and moved home in 2018 when some stuff was going on with um my grandmother was sick. I came home for that. And as soon as I got home, I started dating a guy, and I haven't looked back. I mean, like, I
Oh.
have looked back. I'm still looking back because that's the only way I'm gonna figure it out, right? But yeah, I think that was 2018.
So it was kind of like as soon as you got out of it, it was an
Yeah, something
instant
just
switch,
flipped.
I
I was
guess, like,
like,
"No way I'm going back."
it's been a big process, but yeah, I was like, I'm tired of hiding this.
Yeah.
I'm tired of
Yeah.
chasing something that isn't realistic. And I'm tired of pretending like there's something wrong with me because I'm good people. Sure, I have my flaws just like everybody, but I'm good people. I take care of people. This doesn't make me bad. This doesn't make me
Mhm.
nasty.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna find a place where I can stop being ashamed of this part of me because it's not something that's just going to go away because I read my Bible enough or I went to church enough or because I'm having sex with a woman. It's not going away. And I'm not going to feel bad about this anymore. Because
Right.
why? Because you said so? Because you said so. And now we know
Mhm.
better because there's all these great documentaries and all these great internet teachers now, these internet theologians that are like, hey, look at this stuff and tell me if it still adds up. And I'm like, hey, yeah, it's not adding up anymore. I'm right at 4 years with my therapist this month. So that and 4 years of therapy, there's no way we're going back.
Were there other things that caused you to split from the church and your faith, or was it only, like, the
Mainly
gay
the gay thing.
thing?
No, it wasn't just that. When we were at this Southern Baptist church for a while, I had been working with the kids. And at some point, one of the members of leadership came up to me and told me that they're going to find me another place to serve because they didn't feel comfortable with a single male around the kids. And I was like, well, I know I'm not the only one, so I'm gonna wait and see if this is a hard and fast rule for all the single males or if it's just the ones that have admitted to have same-sex attractions. And sure enough, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. And I think the need to confess because like that's a big thing in Baptist churches, confessing to your
Mhm.
brethren, your sins so that you can be held accountable. Like that's a big thing. So always having to like spill my private to somebody that I really don't want to, like I don't trust, I don't feel safe with you, but you know, this is what I have to do to be
Right.
accepted, to be loved, to be part of the family.
Mhm.
It wasn't just a gay thing. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess it kind of was because that's kind of what it always came down to because I could get away with anything else. I could go out and have sex with as many women as I wanted to.
Mhm.
I could beat my wife, my kids,
Yep.
and I could get away with all that
Yep.
but
Mhm.
being gay, no. So
That's the
yeah, I
line.
guess it
Yep.
it always came down to that.
Yeah.
I think it's an easy target, for a lot of people because
Yep.
if they're not, quote, unquote, "struggling" with it, it's easy to just be like, "Oh, that sin is the worst of all of the sins because it doesn't
Right.
affect me," and
I
it's an
I
easy
think
target.
too, knowing now what I know, it's a lot of the church leadership. They're out here doing the same thing. I can't tell you how many pastors I have
Yep.
found on these gay hookup apps. Seriously,
Yeah.
this
Oh, I
church
believe it.
leadership that's out here hooking up with young boys on the
Yep.
weekends, I think that's why it's such a big thing because they're ashamed and they
Mhm.
don't want
Yeah.
everybody else knowing. So they're always pointing a finger.
Yeah.
And they have to keep the
Keep it off
spotlight
of
off
them.
of them. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
because he would never,
Yep.
you know?
Yeah. Were there any people around you that were accepting within the church or within your family? Were you finding any acceptance during any of that time?
There were certain people I knew that were gonna love me and be kind to me either way. I don't want to say anyone would have been unkind, but it would always have been a conversation. Well, I'm praying for you, brother.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
we couldn't just be people and hey,
Yeah.
how you
I love
doing?
you, but not your lifestyle. Yeah.
Yeah, constantly.
Yeah.
Like you always had to have that reminder.
So you had the show of love, but not the actual acceptance from anybody, is what I'm hearing.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. You never felt secure in that, you know?
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
rough. How did you start to find people that did accept you? I'm guessing it's after 2018, but how was finding a community that did accept you?
Well, for a while, it was just the guy that I was with and
Hmm.
work people. At the time, I was able to get my family kind of involved with him and him involved with the family. I was able to build a little community with that for about 5 years. That was cool, but that all ended in, violence. And since then, with all of like the political stuff, I don't even really feel like I have my family most of the time,
Hmm.
Yeah.
so building community after that has been more of a challenge. But, I can do all things through Christ.
I was wondering what your relationship was like with your family now. So I'm guessing
I
strained.
mean,
Do you talk to them?
I talked to some of them.
Hmm.
I talked to my parents and one of my sisters. I have 3 sisters, all younger. One of them is a pastor's wife, and the other is a daycare teacher or a preschool teacher or something like that. I don't talk to either one of them, but I have my youngest sister lives here and I talked to her and I had her son today. We went to the park and hung out. That was fun. I still have contact with some of them, but it's not like it was because they're all red hats. So,
Mm,
you know,
that's rough.
Yeah, I empathize with that.
It's a wild place to be
yeah.
in the
What
world.
is
Yeah,
2025?
I don't know, man. It's a trip. That's what it is. You said that you're still in the process of deconstructing. How's that going? Are you completely out of your faith? Do you still question things? Where are you at?
I think the mystery behind it all for me is gone, you know? I've looked behind the veil. I saw
Hmm.
the man pulling the
Mm.
strings. Now I'm at the point where I'm just trying to like piece together how I fit into it, you know? Like, okay, now that I know the facts, what does that mean for me, right? And what about all this other that I never learned about? The things that I wasn't taught. How do I the things that I'm learning now from all these other sources, how do I fit all this together and how does it all work for me? Because I know I believe certain things from each one. I'm just trying to like find the right weave, I guess. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah, totally. Like what you need to let go of and what you need to bring in and how that all goes together. Absolutely.
Yeah, because there's still
Yeah.
stuff that I'm cutting out and getting rid of from back then. Core beliefs about myself that I would not have had I not been in these sermons every Sunday telling me what a horrible person I was for being born. God loves you, but he put this thing inside you that he hates. So you have to get that out of you, right? He's gonna let you off the hook because he killed his son so that you could get rid of that and go to heaven. And he did all this because he loves you so much. And I'm like, okay, yeah.
Has that affected your view of love and acceptance in other areas of life, having that repeated over and over and over in
Oh my God,
church?
yeah. I
Yeah.
think I think not feeling good enough for God has made me feel not good enough for anybody else.
Mm.
Hmm.
I was the kid with the guilty conscience. Like I would tell on myself for the smallest things. Go up to my
Mhm.
mom bawling, Mom, I'm so sorry. I think it's just made me feel so unworthy and so undeserving of real love that I've
Yeah.
let a lot of other things happened to me because I didn't think I deserved any better. And that's, thank God for therapy, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's stuck with me, and it's still something I'm working through.
yeah.
I think that's a theme that comes up for a lot of people, and I mean, me too, especially Baptists, right, man? They're
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
the message that you're worthless
Yeah.
and you're a sinner and you fall short and you
It's
can't
just
trust
hammered in.
yourself. It's just hammered into you over and over and over, not
Yeah.
even being queer. And then add being gay on top of that, and it's a whole other layer, and it is
Mhm.
so difficult to unpack.
They completely destroy your self-worth.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And just trust in yourself too, which
Yeah.
is also hard when you are figuring out your sexuality, when you can't trust yourself. You can't trust your heart. Your heart's deceitful. You can't trust your gut because that's not what
Yeah.
we're leaning on.
Yeah.
So when did you know I am gay? This is something that's not going away. As someone who really bought in and was trying all of the process and all of the things, when were you like, no, this is wrong. This is who I am.
I don't think I was really able to see because I got a girlfriend at like 18. I don't think I let myself off the hook until I was like 28.
Wow,
Dang.
Yeah. No, it was later than that. 32?
man.
Yeah,
So
32, dude. It wasn't that
Dang.
long ago when I
wow.
finally let myself off the hook
Yeah.
because, like, I didn't go on the race until we didn't even talk about the race.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're a race
Yeah.
kid? Is
I was about to ask how old you were when we did the world race.
that how you
I
guys
was
know each other?
Yeah.
25. Yeah,
25.
Oh,
we
let's
were
talk
on the
about
same
that.
team,
What are we
dude.
doing?
We lived together for 6 months, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I had no
Yeah.
idea what the race was
Yeah.
until I met Carrie. So I'm gonna let you guys talk about that.
Yeah, so the world race is a adventures and missions organization mission trip where you go to 11 countries in 11 months. You spend a month in each. They go into the world race, but it's basically uh, young-ish adolescents. I would say what 18 to
Hmm.
25 mostly.
Yeah,
So yeah, that was how I met Adam.
yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you go with a group of like 50, and then they split you off into teams of what? How many did we have?
7,
Eight,
8.
seven, eight,
Yeah.
something like that. We had 3 guys and 4 girls on our team.
Yep.
Yeah. And me and Carrie got to be on a team together. We hated each other.
No, really?
We
We,
fought a
we
lot, yeah.
yeah, we were not like the best of friends. She was really good friends with this girl that hated me, right? That was the whole thing. They had it out for me, dude. They did. That was so traumatizing the whole trip. Coming home from that, I didn't do anything for a year.
By the time you left, though, I was so mad because we were close by then. I was
Hmm.
furious when you left,
Well,
when they sent you.
they had it out for me the whole
Yeah,
time. Just
They is in like
the
the group?
leadership, our
the
our
leaders.
The
squad leaders.
leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to talk
Yeah.
about how you went home? Do you want to talk about any of that?
I was really not a rule follower by nature, right? If you tell me to do something and it doesn't make sense to me, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do anything necessarily wrong, but if you give me a rule like you're a cigarette smoker while you're on this trip, you can't sneak off anywhere at any time and have a cigarette or an alcoholic beverage. And I'm like, first of all, I'm 25 years old, please don't tell me what I can put in my own body. So just simple stuff like that. You have this
Mm.
whole month of this ministry where you only have about 2-3 hours a week where you actually have something to do just because this ministry is so slow. But the rest
Yeah.
of the time, you need to be up by this time of day and make sure that you're interacting with your teammates because why? Why am I getting up by 9 o'clock every day when I don't have to do? No,
This sounds like my personal hell. I would hate
yeah,
this.
but I'm not gonna do that. And I'm also gonna tell you to your face, like, I'm not gonna do that, you know?
Yeah.
And there was no room for dissension. You are not allowed to be your own person. We love creativity and individuality as long as you stay within these parameters, right?
Sure.
You can get crazy as long as you're really spiritual about it. But it was really manipulative and abusive spirituality. And I even saw I saw that while I was in it. I was like, this is not right. They pick and choose their favorite people and like, oh, you should follow so and so's example. And then they pick the ones that they didn't like, the ones that questioned them on their rules and their logic. And I was always
That
in trouble
doesn't
for
sound like
something.
cult-like behavior at all.
So this is
Dude.
my new favorite obsession, actually. This is something that I've been thinking about with most of the interviews that we've been having, is
Okay.
how within these systems they will alienate one or two people to be the scapegoat. They're like, oh, they're not following the rules, they're the problem, you all
Mhm.
are all doing the right thing, so this person is going to be our scapegoat. We're going to put everything on this person, cast them out because they are not of us, and now we are all united because we have taken the problem out. This is coming up again and again and again with church systems and interviews that we're having, and this is a perfect example. Perfect example.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a feature, not a bug.
Yeah.
It is. It
Yeah,
is.
it's intentional. They do it on purpose.
And let's talk about feedback. So, do you want to give some
Oh,
feedback?
no.
Are you triggered right now?
Kinda. I forgot about feedback.
Yeah. Oh,
Please
so
talk about
so yes,
feedback.
every day, every single day, we were supposed to give each other feedback on your general life. Like, this is how
Whether it's
you did today.
positive or constructive,
Yep.
you
And
everybody got feedback.
yep, from everyone, and you just sit
Mhm.
there and you say thank you,
It
and
was like that
it
show
was
that we just
literally, yeah, we just
Uh-huh.
watched.
watched
What
some
was it?
show.
Wayward or Way some I don't know.
Yeah, but you're not allowed
And
to say anything back. You have to sit
Nope.
there and
yeah,
take whatever they're giving you. Like
Yep.
today, I felt like you were really disrespectful to me as a woman because you didn't let me yell at you to your face and call you a fat pig. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
exaggerating, but that's what it felt
But yeah,
like.
thank you for your feedback.
we had some really heated feedback sessions. I don't remember any of the specifics, but
That
I
is
Mhm.
know
wild.
you and I had it out a couple of times. I feel like by the
We
end,
finally saw each other. We were like,
we
"Oh,
finally connected. We're like, all right.
it's all them. It's not us.
Yeah.
We're not the problem here. It's
Yep.
them."
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is why they
But
had to
it
send you,
was
because I
like
was following you. Like,
but it was like there there were a few of us that connected in the beginning and we were like, "Okay, I see you, you know."
yeah.
And we found those people that we felt like that with. And then we got to the end of it and I felt like, no, we were all fine. It was the leaders the whole time because they've already bought into this cult doctrine that they're
Mhm.
about to push on us, right? We didn't have any idea what was going on until it was all
Mhm.
over. And some of them still didn't, never figured it out. They're still advocating for that. I'm like,
Well,
no.
I do feel like we're pitted against each other too. Like, here's your scale of how Christ-like you are, and this is how much, again, we're going to show you love and acceptance based on where you're at on the scale.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, I mean, it's narcissistic relationships 100%, but it's also a form
Mhm.
of control. I mean, it's cult tactics 101. Like
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
the whole feedback thing, like that's wild. That's
Yeah.
wild.
I
I
was
bet.
thinking about training camp for some reason not too long ago, um, and how that was also, it felt very manipulative and very like, these are the things that you might experience, and
Hello.
um,
Yeah.
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 Training camp for the world
Training camp
race.
for the world race. Yeah, was it a week, or I don't remember.
And we stayed there for a week and camped out in tents and saw people, have demons cast out of them,
Yeah.
all kinds of crazy spiritual stuff that now I look back and I'm like, that girl had serious psychological issues. Maybe there was some spiritual stuff that she needed to deal with. Well, also, first off, she needed to see a therapist, like a real psychiatrist that can diagnose.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, we're gonna cast demons out of her and give her an excuse to writhe and scream and
Yep.
just so we can scare the out of everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the spiritual warfare theme carried throughout. Like there was always spiritual warfare going on here. What's the atmosphere here? That kind of discussion.
Yeah. Like
That's crazy.
there's a spirit of contention in this team right now. I don't understand. I feel a spirit of anger over you, brother. What's going on?
Did you guys feel like you accomplished anything on that trip? Like, I mean, that's supposed to be a missions trip.
I mean, we did
I was in a
stuff.
very
We
different
taught.
headspace then.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we taught some English. We
So
did
much English.
we did physical labor for like we were helping build a children's home in Thailand, I think, and we did that.
Oh,
It wasn't all preachy. We did some
yeah,
decent stuff.
thankfully.
Yeah. There were some practical uses to us being there. But at the same time, it was, I don't know. I think it was more of a lesson for me. Big wake up call.
Yeah.
So I'm in such a different place now than when I was then. So at the time, I'm not even going to get into white savior complex right now, but at the time, I felt like I was doing good things. And my idea of religion was make friends with people and tell them why you think this thing. So I do still feel like I made a lot of good connections with people that I still talk to, a lot of them now. Obviously, I'm not pushing religion on them now. I hope I
Right.
wasn't too much then, but I probably was. I still feel like I made some good connections. I've got a lot of friends that I met all around the world. I
Yeah.
don't really speak to anyone that I went on the race with. I think you might be the only one that I still talk to actually.
Aww.
There's a couple more every now and then somebody will pop up, but
Enemies to
Yeah.
lovers. We love to see it.
enemies to lovers trope.
You said you had a lot of realizations. Was that a realization of a deconstruction moment? Like, what am I doing? This is crazy. Or,
I was finally starting to realize that I couldn't trust my church, my leaders. I couldn't trust the people that I was looking to for guidance. Like I could not trust these people anymore. And I think that was the biggest thing, being sent home early. Like I was, we didn't even talk about that. I got sent home early.
oh, right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, they they pulled me off to the side during a big training thing in Japan and told me alone that they were sending me home. And then they pulled in my team, so Kari and the other 6, and told all of them. And then they drugged me in front of the entire squad and told all of them while I stood there and gave me like 5 minutes to pack. And they took me to the train station, rode with me to the airport, and dropped me off with a ticket to North Carolina. And this was in Japan. They sent
Wow.
me home
Yeah.
alone. Yeah.
What was
I,
their reasoning? Did they say?
it's a super long story, but at the end of the day, like Kari said, I was just a scapegoat, you know.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
They were looking for somebody to blame to get the rest of the rowdy crew in line. And I was the one that took the fall because I was the one that wasn't backing down. I'm always gonna be loud about it. So
Hmm.
I was an easy pick. I'll give them that. A little too on the head
Yeah.
for my taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to know because you knew straight Carrie and she was very straight. Did you suspect that Carrie was gay?
Yeah. 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 I'm surprised like that I didn't get any confirmation while we were on the race because a lot of people on the squad came up to me and told me I've dealt with some of that before. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, we probably pretty much all
Yeah.
have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
I'm
I
like,
didn't know.
is this a girl? You didn't
I
know?
still didn't know. No.
Carrie was oblivious to
Really?
her gayness. The closet
Yeah.
was glass, but there she
I
was.
Yeah.
love that for you. Aw.
And that's
Ignorance
why I
is
said
bliss, dude.
it really is though. I would not have been able to handle going through the cognitive dissonance at the time. I wouldn't have. And
Bro,
so I'm glad I was just clueless for half my life because
that's
I wouldn't
awesome.
have been able to handle it.
So that's the world race, huh?
Yeah.
Fun stuff. Happy I did not do that.
Right? Yeah, you dodged a bullet there.
Where do we go from here? I don't even
Right,
know.
with the world race, we hit some deconstruction. Do you want to go into how the healing process has been? I know you've mentioned therapy.
Yeah, we can talk about that. I think my healing journey started when I got with my ex back in 2018 when I moved home from Florida. I was really able to like step into a gay identity and live that in front of my family, most importantly, because that's always been my first community and I always wanted them to be a part of my life. So when I was finally able to be in a relationship with another man in front of them, I think that was probably my first big step into healing and being okay with who I am. I think it kind of took a downturn because like I said, that relationship ended in violence. And for a while, that whole worthless feeling that I grew up believing about myself because of, the sermons, that's still there, right? But after domestic violence, you go even further into that hole and having to dig myself out of that and find out that like I deserve good things and I deserve to be loved and I deserve to be happy and I don't deserve to feel bad about things that I can't help. And I don't deserve to be shamed for wanting to be happy with somebody that I'm attracted to, whether it's a male or a female. I deserve the same good things that the rest of these people deserve. And therapy has been crucial in that for me. I didn't go into therapy looking to find that I deserved love, but I think that's where it's taken me and it's helped me find out that I do deserve these things and I can have them.
Yeah.
I think it's a constant lesson, right? Healing is not I finally got there. It's a journey
Mm-hmm.
and we're never going to just be there.
Yeah.
You're going to
Yeah.
have to constantly be reminded that we deserve to be loved. I've been able to build a community of people. It might be small, but these people remind each other that, hey, you deserve better than what you're allowing yourself to have right now. I've surrounded
Mhm.
myself with those people that are going to be real with me when I'm giving myself less than I really deserve, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's so important.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
it's a rewiring. It is
it
actual
is.
brainwashing. Like, growing up in the church and hearing that over and over is brainwashing, and you have to
Yeah.
rewire every bit of that in your brain, and it's a
Yeah.
process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's constant. The trauma from growing up in the church and then moving on to conversion therapy and the molestation and the domestic violence later on. This trauma, this latest trauma only happened because this first trauma told me that I wasn't enough.
Mm.
And so it's
Mhm.
Yeah.
just perpetuated this cycle in my life forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's irreparable damage. The lies that I grew up believing because I trusted the people that were telling me
Yeah.
have have caused irreparable damage.
Yeah.
Not
Mm-hmm.
that I'm not still fabulous and I don't love me now, but right.
Absolutely
But
fabulous.
all the things that I've had to unlearn and undo, and it's just none of us should have to do that.
Yeah.
None of
Yeah.
us should have to do that. It's not fair.
Yeah. Where are you religiously now and spiritually? You said you were consider yourself like an agnostic spiritualist. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So I study a little bit of Buddhism. I consult my tarot cards sometimes, big into my horoscope every day. And I'm big on vibes right now. Like
Mm.
if it doesn't feel right, I'm not doing it. If I don't feel safe, I'm not doing it.
Mm.
Mhm.
If I feel like I'm being manipulated at all, I'm not trying to learn from a person right now. I'm trying to just read and study theologies from all major religions and see what rings a bell.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. What What do you think about God?
Huh? What do I think about God?
Yeah, like do you believe in a higher power
I
still
love
or
her. I love her. Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
mean, God, the universe, if it's even conscious of itself,
Mhm.
who knows? Who knows? I think we can all agree on mostly the same moral stuff. Don't kill people. Do
It all
what
just
the
boils down
golden
to
rule
consent.
thing.
It's
Yeah.
consent
Yeah.
Well,
ultimately.
consent.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you meditate or pray? Is there anything that you are, like, trying to connect with or to, or is it just a daily vibe of, like, what's feeling right?
I really try to connect with the earth a lot. I'm a Gemini, so I'm an air element, right? And I'm like really flighty, and like some people call me neurospicy. But I find that going out and spending time in nature. There's a little patch of woods behind my townhouse, and go out there and take a little walk. Touch the trees, find a little clearing, sit in the grass, whatever. Um,
Hmm.
and I find that that helps center me. I've tried meditation and I really struggle to like sit still long enough.
Mm,
But I think finding my center for me is normally about um, finding a rhythm in the middle of the day when I'm busy working to where everything else is tuned out and I'm in my own head, my own groove. But I'm a caregiver, so I'm working at home. I don't have
mhm.
to talk to anybody. I can, turn on some lo-fi and that's my meditation time really.
Yeah, that
So
makes sense.
that and, touching some grass here and there, that does it for me. Yeah.
Go touch grass, kids. Go touch grass.
I have one more
Oh, go for
question.
it.
It's off topic, and I might even be misremembering, but do I remember correctly that you said that you spoke in tongues?
All on the
Or is that
mission trip. Yeah.
Yeah. Looking back, what do you think that was, or do you have any idea of what that was?
I think I just found a few syllables that sounded right and went for it.
Yeah,
I would love to say that yeah, it was some heavenly language, but no. I was just like, I have to say something or they're never gonna
yeah.
take their hands off of me. Yeah.
I knew it.
No.
I've literally had this
We've been talking
I've
about this
asked
too.
that with kids. I never really had a my church never did the speaking in tongues things. I never had that
I'm not at a
experience. I've just
Baptist
heard
church,
it.
honey.
I've
No,
heard
we
of it.
didn't
Yeah.
believe in that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely not. So I've always wondered. I'm like,
Yeah.
are these people just faking it? Do they actually feel in the moment like something's going on or like
Shamala hamala. I guess.
so
Dude.
you did not feel in the moment like anything was going on. It was more of just I got to do something to make whatever's happening stop or to feel included kind of a situation.
Yeah, yeah. If I want to be part of the team, yeah, I
Mm,
gotta figure this
okay.
out. I gotta come up with something to say.
Yeah.
If I only have a couple syllables, that's enough to shut them up for
I
real.
knew it. I feel
Yeah.
validated
Oh,
right now. Okay, cool.
But like they make it out to be like you're gonna have this great feeling, and the
experience.
spirit's gonna come into you and speak through you, right?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I'm like, cool, can't wait for that to happen because I never say the right thing. You
Mhm.
guys don't like it when I talk. Seriously. I'm like, dude, if I can get God to speak through me and I can shut the hell up, maybe they won't hate me as much. That didn't work.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
didn't work.
No. This was on the race too. So
Yeah.
this was like in the heat of that whole
On some
discussion.
road. We were on a road. We weren't even in a building. We were walking around somewhere.
We were in a back alleyway in China.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I was on my knees. I was so dirty when I got it. It was gross. It was really gross. And they were drunk. The leaders were pissed drunk,
Yeah.
praying over me, laying their hands on me, praying over me. Pissed drunk.
What
Looking back,
triggered it?
I asked them about it because they were all like constantly speaking in tongues, and I was like, "You guys, I grew up Baptist. I never got that one. So tell me about it. Give it to me."
Mm.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
they did. They gave it to me. They gave it to me. I'm surprised I
Oh,
didn't
man.
catch something else on being on the ground like that. It was
Man.
bad.
Oh, wild.
God.
Wow.
Yeah.
I forgot about
What
that.
Good
an
times.
experience.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I had to ask.
Mm.
There's so much. The more I talk to people too, the more I remember. And I've blocked out so much because I don't believe in any of it now. Um,
I don't
so
either.
there's a lot that I just have thrown away.
I'm thankful for a few of the connections I made.
Yeah.
And I am thankful for the cultural awareness that it gave me while I was gone. Because
Mm,
before that, I had never been out of the country. It was a big eye opener for me. I think I learned a lot about the world and humanity, and I learned a lot about myself and what I'm willing to put up with. Some big lessons out of the world race, but I don't recommend it. to anybody.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I've had a few people reach out to me and say they wanted to go, and I've told them
Don't
honest truths.
don't do it.
I never tried to persuade anyone to do anything. Like, you do what you got to do, but I will tell you my
Right.
experience, and I will tell you what my truth was, and you can do
Right.
whatever you think fits your life.
Do with
Right.
that as you will.
Yeah.
As you will.
Well, you ready for the
Last questions.
Okay.
final question?
Okay.
So we try to wrap up our show with the question: if you could go back in time to baby Adam in the pews questioning their sexuality, what would you say to them? Any words of wisdom or words of love that you would like to impart to baby Adam?
I think I would tell myself to learn to think for myself and to get comfortable telling people no. I think that's probably the biggest. Yeah. Learn to tell people no and learn to think for yourself. I feel like those two things would have really served me well. How I learned them back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are two good things.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome talking to you, Adam. Thanks
Well,
for.
it was awesome talking to you guys. Thanks for having me.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Was it? I feel like I might have like triggered you and like we had
No,
a
dude,
big old trauma dump session.
I get triggered all the time. I'm extremely traumatized, so I'm constantly crying. It's not you, it's me.
Constantly crying.
Oh man.
As long as this is your constant state of being, that is fine.
Oh yeah, this is just who I am. It's cool.
It was fun thinking back on our world race days too, so that's always a fun
Yes.
time.
Yeah, I'm happy that we delved into that a little bit for sure.
Girl, the reminiscing. Can't wait to not do that again. No, it was fun. It was fun.
Thank you so much for listening. The easiest way to support us is to subscribe and smash that ratings button. New episodes come out every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.